Makwaba eba POG Media. So said the Danny Diage no and I just say Ghana political stories nibi and I just say yes you did Akako Doma yes so Yako Boy Bianoa Edeba sum my Ghana said the Bayamosu the echo and the Ebanina POG Media. So I mention say ne the kind also badge media is one and the no book so I job subscription na wa share no for so answer so etimi can near bo say managers any and so edit share Wontumi case a another and so ebe to also court 7th October granting bill if we CID akache no omoka say omeso aso abo the record train court so sem na kam yakoye say fresh evidence bi so asa apie match say unity and also say some forest bi ana say ye obi and didn't come no Wontumi and so etimi e akoma say no ka say and also ababe fresh evidence and also ebetimi area call editor Wontumi a say no ka say die ato on any nyame na AG akache and so say more names and so ebetimi abo free Wontumi case in the match say and also akakoya asem de ama okon a ira John Dramani Mahama so afa no so beko editor galamsey ready
that we did Ghana for it was Easter Monday because this year meant Easter because of our same wins.
Oh, okay.
Easter Friday, Easter Saturday, Easter Sunday, and we had taken footages from the Tanonimri forest. And if you see the level of devastation in that area, Asifem. And to be honest, we can say that particular video, no who's that video na sankawa. He doesn't know what to tell you. Asasi dahwa.
But I am sure.
Oh yes.
More programs I'm sure also.
Yeah, I mean it's we had pushed it out, so it's all over social media.
No, do you have and like maybe a TV program on whether
actually one of the things that we had discussed it's what you're talking about, to have dedicated programs where we are actually giving updates every time on TV. No, but you see, for the most part, we've done, like to say, making a lot of engagements on radio. We are constantly on how do you call it, on our social media pages as well. We put that out as well.
We agree with those engagements.
Yes.
But dedicated platform.
Yes.
That this platform, because trust me, even with young media for no Ay3ka microphone, and yet ninyani and saka.
Yes.
When matua just like anyway, I just asked.
No, it's a good point, and it's good feedback that we take well. And so like I was saying, we had put all of that together and then show to the people of Ghana, and for them to see the level of devastation that had been done to that particular forest reserve. And so one of the things that we had done was also present that, all that information to the Attorney General for them to work on it and then pick him up for investigations. I think along the line, Papa Biasa, but we've been following up on it. And we spoke to the AG and he had said, look, he didn't want to put together a case that had loopholes, and he needed to be sure that it was as tight as could be. So that and on Friday he mentioned that he had called for his arrest this week, and that is what we've seen. So
but want to be
we would as we go along we would name them. I said Yakase we will name and shame. As we go along, the other names will pop up, and it is devoid of political colorization. Doesn't matter so we NPP ni so we NDC. Once you are destroying our environment, you are an enemy of the state, because and once why you're wondering say they can want to know, because look, we said say this issue of Galamsey is not something that started but we know say over the last 8 years, it had gotten so bad that na asajin. And there's no way that we could approach it with one solution, with a blanket solution. So we needed to look at it from all fronts. And that is why, if you look at the strategy that we developed, it's a very comprehensive one. The 5-pillar strategy that we developed, very comprehensive. The first one, we said we needed stakeholder engagement, stakeholder collaboration. Galamsey asem no, it affects everybody. Wontumi nka say obi to oboase na galamsey intimating kan and family ho. Ubie today and parts of Accra ubie a water for crime. So if you move back crying here. We have seen water treatment plants shutting down in some areas. And so you can't say emfa. So stakeholder collaboration, stakeholder engagement was very key. We also needed to look at the regulations around mining itself as an industry. You can't say mining more behind mining. President Mahama Cracker, on can't say more behind mining. We understand that mining is a viable commercial activity, but you require a fast way to mining. You require a fast way mining and say you and say yes. So, what are the regulations around that economic activity, and where are the loopholes? What do we need to do to strengthen that regulation and to tighten it? So that was another one. Then we also needed to look at law enforcement, because where there are laws, the laws need to be enforced. Say emrane wo hona ye be enforce emrane kwan be na e be fa so be enforce emrane ebe dim na ebe pay. So that was the third one. And then of course we are saying say galamsey are saying you say whilst we have done all of that, you can't say that you would not attend to the damage. So we needed to look at the damage. Yensa na say what do we do about it? Yensu na say what do we do about it? So the fourth pillar was to look at reclamation of the degraded lands, also look at the pollution of the water, and also make sure that we are restoring them. Then while we do all of that, I talked about getting to the root cause. What is the root cause of this? People want to engage in this economic activity. But the pathway to getting them, it be unknown to me afford it. And on names our pathway no into ye say ye bet stretch or provide alternatives for them into then the alternative livelihood comes in. So if you look at the strategy, it's a comprehensive approach that encompasses everything that allows us to be able to, once we are able to implement the strategy on all fronts effectively, efficiently, you bet me to galamsey asset. And that's the path that we are on. So I think say if share from beginning of the year till now progress I am making. If we have the same level of dedication the last 8 years, we will not be sitting here having this conversation.
No, but Amanfo believes that the political influence, that is where with chief traditional leaders, the security agencies need to.
Yes, I agree. It is not true. We agree on that, but you see,
but many sure say even more traditional leader bakukra or molest so say we be prosecuted.
We make a kaba, and I make us say we are very clear in our minds to say stakeholder engagement is key. But so make us, and if you remember, I said at the beginning, we said we are not going to shield anybody. So once we have done all the stakeholder engagements, we have spoken to the chiefs, we are getting their involvement, we are reviewing policy and all of that. Now why you say still be here? And we are clear on that. We're very clear on that.
Okay, I'll come back to you. Alaji, so galamsey baby, and open na me no be din komo na me ka che ni pa ne say. Me an kasa baby a medru no. Mabre. Because on my way there are politicians and sir. You see what ahemfo adehye nti yemfa buoma omo. Yemfa buoma to gba fede, yemfa buoma gamanche, yemfa buoma otumfo, yemfa buoma nayiri, yemfa buoma wanwan, yemfa buoma mawanwan. But omo na eye omo yemfa buoma Akuffo, yemfa buoma Mahama, yemfa buoma Akuffo, yemfa buoma politicians NDC MPP omo na eye asoja fa yesumo omo akowura mu no army commander no omo na eye yohunu ayesuma no police for no yohunu omo na eye okote naimus for na eye okote temus for na eye. So where do we go from here? Because adene now it's clear say any ordinary guys be omni number bi eya omni hwe. So
Commander, one of the beautiful thing every day we do huna efa about corruption ni galamsey. I console myself with one thing, and any democracy every 4 years na yakotuaba. Now every one of us know that galamsey was one factor ema NPP a year unpopular. In the year 2015 the Bia Mekai Asamina at the time Inus of Senena no year Lands and Natural Resource Minister. That's that time Wontumi ni company be your friend no household mining na no more ye juma. And I asked myself at the time,
household na any dia anase no na ye juma.
Not only Chinese phone and yes, I've been there on occasions several.
Oh, okay.
So I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Now, we share at the time. Now you were forest reserve in this country, and I know any bit.
Yeah.
Na oti say company bia or ye galamsey and a company bia or ye illegal money no more call any of the forest reserves they be. Now at the time now your water bodies and any water bodies.
Your water bodies.
Na oti say your water bodies your mo friend no turbidity levels is here na say sana minu about ubi pipes is here. Ube who first milk na waba no first ube who Milo second na milk aba answer na kokuti what I say. So you choose which one to drink. Now those days no nyina no
like Wontumi Media message so be like and as I want subscribe to your POG Political Media as well any day and we go kwa so message so be drop subscription now also one who the echo any day bani na was sliding into the comment section now also waiting me and so a day a year and come out when I come here quite a year highway no so the a year galamsey and some a year more names so I was what a year AG and so they are to be say on fahon say a year after Wontumi case ni din ebebem no whether so we MPP ni and also we NDC ni also back which na that kind na just say emra no anywhere they said they say ene said they fata so that be ebeboa ema eye eko a yeko e de tia galamsey no and so ye be di galamsey no so yenkunim.
I'm talking of 10 years back under NDC. So in the process no NDC and NPP made huge capital out of galamsey. Yawura Nana Akuffo Addo ekotena baby around Abuase ehye omo bose ono ba say amanfo enenam ekase me ba me stop galamsey enya me make sure say mo betu galamsey mo betu ampara na ekase obua but the wind of change na ebo it will be beer. So people took that scam serious. But at the time, Mansell Mining veer off his mandate as a licensed miner. You know, so for saying function, so mokaya, no license to mine, but veer off kakra within his limits, you know. In News of saying making sure say they arrested a lot of the Chinese, deported a lot of the Chinese illegal miners to the extent of burning in News of household mining excavators. Why didn't he go to court at the time?
No, he did.
He didn't. He went to courts. Abra and this MPP bar. And then he won judgment. And then they pay him that money. Okay? So it emboldened a lot of people. We didn't go far. I share one. Eddie sa Akuffo NDC deportee yenu nyina san ba Ghana. Omuye galamsey broad daylight to the extent of killing Ghanaians. Omuko protesti yehuni nyina. To the extent that Ashe one was arrested. But at the time, because NDC needed, MPP needed money in China, they needed to deport or make this woman, take this woman back without prosecution. But as we speak, I am told, say Aisha one, Ghana, she's back in Ghana.
Really?
She's in Ghana.
How?
That's the question. So if you look at,
yeah, sure.
I'm telling you for a fact.
Since
Nana Akuffo Addo Muko so koya no sabaya. It didn't koya no buy. She's been here.
Since when?
I'm telling you that for the past 4-5 years, as one is in Ghana, and now China more than 1 year cry no sabaya. But all the same, the question we are asking, is it the case that the politicians are deeply involved in galamsey operations? And now it is just as we see that businessmen are fronting those omotutu galamsey. The point is, we are all looking at how to find a lasting solution. But trust me, that lasting solution will never see daylight.
But at least Wontumi, I'm a fair idea that politicians are involved. At least,
we know. That's what I'm saying. To the extent that the natural, Science and Environment Minister, my reports, more than 35-page reports, elaborating more on involving in galamsey. The best at the time they could do was to sack him. No, to sack him from his position.
That's Professor.
Yes, that's the best they could do. To say, look, you want to spoil the name of the government. So look, you're very reshuffle. He was the only person. Who said Nana Akuffo Addo did reshuffle or sack. That's for the past 8 years, because he came out to expose Omoano Muye galamsey. But the point is it the fact that the politician has the political will to stop galamsey? Yes. Why is it difficult for the politician as we speak to stopping galamsey and near Omuye on our water bodies and the reserves? Yes, the difference between NDC and MPP today is the fact that Nana Akuffo Addo is signing LI, allowing people to go and mine, because the water bodies no krana or more waste more time, no pen and tentem. So the reserves no baby a Akonta mine betime gold no be brainty or sign. And look at the people, the number of people are or sign licenses for them to go to the reserves no Akonta mine and
somebody just sending a test or say Asha one is the Inv0lvéd maximum prison.
Asha one is never jailed. Asha one is in Ghana doing business. I'm telling you. Asha one who Ghanaians, we couldn't jail Asha one. Is it under NDC that they jailed her, or is under MPP? That's it. So, but the point I'm making is that the people who were allowed to mine in these reserves are politicians, and we knew them. We know them. Abu Jinapo, the then minister, came out and said, "Baby, ana Akonta mining na Omuye Jumano was illegal." What did they do at the time? Nothing. Baby, nipa hudwa omuko ekoye galamsey, areas where people saw politicians mining, impunity, the highest level. Hey, politicians, what did we do? We seized more than 500 excavators at a time. Nobody saw where it ended. So the point is this, as simple as ABCD. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has instructed the minister in charge of lands to repeal that LI. It be Parliament. And we have been able to recover 9 out of the many forest reserves. And we have recovered 9 out of that.
You bet me show Mubet me a reserves crow at the Ghana.
Oh yes. We have that list. I can mention.
And I don't know if I'm a
you have everything.
No, list, you see, what list no?
You have
They
everything.
always ask.
What list no? No, because the ones now say video na say A2.
Presentation with you. I mean,
A2.
network not a call, but
I have a
A2.
problem, a network problem.
okay.
Okay, so young boy videos number. A damaged forest now.
Out of the 288, 44 of them, Galamsey Fuerim. But when we came, one of the briefings that we got, 44, the level of impacts of Galamsey activities, they vary. Ebu ono man ya color coding in green. It's Ebu ono ma, like a few, 1 or 2 people will be Ebu ono ma yellow. But there were 9 of them that na red. And no. Samubekaya in 2022, there was a directive to withdraw military from all forest reserves. No explanation given, nothing. Military withdraw. And now we had all those militia, these rebel groups coming at Galamsey for Akuffo for protection in those areas. Into forest guards now, ne say forest ni take data no to me police for crime to me. So when we came, those 9 forest reserves I said, look, let's start from those ones and reclaim those ones because
That's where the impact is huge.
Where the impact is huge. Those ones we are able to manage them, but we needed to focus on the 9. In the last, I think in about 7 months or so, we're able to reclaim all the 9.
Okay.
And these forest reserves were the ones that like Mekano, those guys, the kind of weapons that they had there, just a military.
Yes, even military, and that is where
even the
people
military,
at the time,
they had to be tactical.
I remember.
So we're able to reclaim all of them. There was Jimira South. There was the offense shelter belt. I'm trying to say it off my head, but
no, if you have the list, bet me the and Kadima may produce and the so such a different man for evidence based.
Yes, evidence
because
based.
Question Obia Busasa
they are the two jada.
Mose nine.
Yes, because now say beginning of the year now almost every month be an update. You reclaim me. It's you reclaim me.
But the most later no who statement be say
yes, of course. And American so I have Jimira extension, the Afawo Hills, Tano area, offense shelter belt, Arianso East, Arianso South, Subri, Asenayo and Desiree. I remember Asenayo and Desiree were the last 2 that were able to.
But Subri, I think Subri recently, na Erastus air complaining.
It was area and the area for but I know na your call na your kochi I think last 2 weeks ago Friday, and then Monday we brought them to Accra. There were 9 guys that we had arrested. After your clear, they tried going back in there.
I see.
Yes, they tried going back in there, and NIMOS was very quick. And you see the beautiful thing with NIMOS is security agencies in the into military kakrawum, police kakrawum, NIB kakrawum, national security kakrawum, and all back together as one platoon. It's very highly intelligence led, and when they are going, obia nim nejuma because police nim say okwa no kwakwa effective arrest, obe follow through with prosecution. Where it is combative, soldier for nim say omo kwakwa yewe, where and a lot of the time you go into those areas and there's a high incidence of drugs. Into NACOPS for one so that's their job. Then they also follow up with those things. So we brought all of those security agencies together to be able to do this. If you look at countries like Peru that have done very well with things like illegal mining, it's a similar approach that they used, and it helped them. For us, what we are doing is not out of the ordinary. But I talked about law enforcement. It's about how we are enforcing.
So come on I bought Eddie Media say POG Media the Ghana 30 political headlines a POG Media so now sabeti me aka bi now so hu the echo and the air banning na my Ghana political headlines now make sure so subscribe to POG Media and the kwan so abejo subscription na wa share no for so answer so etimi aka betimi so about the rather comment section on also etimi edin komo so the be Media no and so e be interactive. But that's it. So come home now LG Edra na yebo Eddie Media. You best share our POG Media so our the next story.